Prasad makes his first ever start alongside Bishwanath Ghosh. Mojibo Ramanjani comes in for the suspended Mohammad Sohail Rana, and up front Rakib and Rahim, who both got the goals in the 2-1 home win over the Maldives, will lead the line in attack. So Graham Arnold, the longest serving Socceroos coach for A internationals, match number 59 for him, surpassing Frank Farina, his old teammate in green and gold. And there is Javier Cabrera, who was, before taking over the youth academy at Alaves in Spain, for 4 months, the North Virginia Barcelona academy coach in the US of A. He is the man charged with trying to take Bangladeshi football to the next level. Brandon Borrello, a start for him. Only 1 goal in green and gold so far. It came against Ecuador back in March of this year. Connor Metcalf is making a place for himself in this starting 11 for the Socceroos, as he currently sits atop the table in Bundesliga 2, along with his club captain Jackson Irvine. And Mitch Duke, 10 goals in 30 appearances for the Socceroos. Will he still be leading the line in 3 years' time? So on this 16th of November, a holy day for fans of the Socceroos. It was 18 years ago that John Aloisi sent the green and gold back to the World Cup. It was 50 years ago on the 13th of November that the in which these youngsters, this latest generation, look to make a name for themselves and take the Socceroos for a 6th time to the biggest single sporting event on the planet. It's also a time to look back and celebrate that 50-year anniversary, and many of those players here this evening.
Yeah, good evening, Robbie, and to everyone watching on the 10 Network and Paramount Plus. It's a date for Australian football drenched in significance, and we've seen some of those 74 heroes in the flesh here today. Noddy Alston releasing his book, his biography this week. They're still cutting fine figures, and I'm sure, Robbie, more than passing amounts of pride as they formed the guard of honour for the Socceroos to take the field. It's an immense legacy they've left, and then the 2006 boys with Johnny A's penalty on this day all those years ago, and now the current generation. Here we go for the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals. That journey starts right now.
And these two sides have met twice before. It was in World Cup qualifying, the same round, round 2, ahead of the World Cup in Russia. And on that day, in Perth, a 4-0 victory, 5-0 for the Socceroos, and the return game in Dhaka in Bangladesh, a 4-0 victory. The only time these two countries have met. The Socceroos certainly start favourites. Javier Cabrera, the Bangladesh coach, said as much in the pre-match press conference yesterday. Said Australia are one of the top teams in world football after what they achieved in Qatar 12 months ago. They'll be looking to just confirm that status this evening. 9 of this side that were at the World Cup 12 months ago. Every 4 years, a new cycle. There has to be regeneration, rejuvenation of the squad. Geordie Boss is one of those players. The left back, Craig Goodwin, one of the stars of Qatar, is fouled there by Bishwanath Ghosh.
Bishwanath and Reddy just closing too eagerly, which in some senses from a Bangladesh viewpoint is not a bad thing. It's a big night for them. A big night to play one of the heavyweights in Asia at this first game of the next stage.
Craig Goodwin delivers the free kick in. It's a good ball, and it's the opening goal from the towering Harry Souttar. Well, less than 4 minutes in, And the Socceroos march towards the World Cup 2026 is go. They lead Bangladesh by 1-0.
Well, the eagerness of the Bangladesh defenders has brought them unstuck, because one mustn't be willfully giving free kicks away to this Australian team with Harry Souttar on the back of a Craig Goodwin beauty. He can hit a dead ball, Craig Goodwin. We've marvelled at that over many years in the A-League, and we've become very, very fond and familiar with this side. 6'6" worth of Harry Souttar belting the ball into the back of the net.
1.98 m in the new terms. For the younger Socceroo fans, perhaps. Harry Souttar, that's his 9th goal in green and gold in this, just his 20th appearance. The man that plays for Leicester City in England in the 2nd division. They're currently wrestling with Ipswich Town. Just happens to be his partner in the centre of defence, Cam Burgess, for top spot in the English 2nd division. And it's Bangladesh looking to get forward quickly. Rakib straightens up and goes again. And was he looking for a corner there? It didn't get a touch off Geordie Boss, straight through his legs. Goal kick.
He ran out of patience in that little snap sequence from Bangladesh. We've seen their best approach. They'll all be very technical players. Good relationships with the ball, and in tight areas will be them at their strongest, actually. So quite at that point why Rakib decided to try and play for the corner. It speaks, I guess, to the nervousness in some sense, Robbie, the lack of experience at this level.
Well, it was Rakib that opened the scoring against the Maldives in that return leg a month ago. Here's Geordie Boss. Good challenge coming across there in the end from Bishwanath, the number 12. The long throw in with Brandon Borrello, gets it back again. Jackson Irvine. As the Socceroos bring the ball all the way back out. Geordie Boss again. He's enjoying a good spell at the moment with Westerlo. In Belgium, ball in towards Duke, who is penalised for leading in. Perhaps the referee judging it hit his arm on the way through.
Yeah, it was pretty favourable refereeing. Nice improvisation there from Irvine. Just too much power, Geordie Boss. That was within tackling range, and yet taking out the leg of Murad with that shoulder from Mitch Duke. Desperate to get on the end of the ball. He can sniff some goal opportunities here today.
He's enjoyed a good season with Machida, promoted back to the top flight in Japan. And Mitchell Duke amongst the goals as well, 10 of them, to go with 6 assists. The Socceroos will enjoy much of the ball. We've already seen that set pieces are one of their strengths. As Duke sets off for the run in behind, just doesn't quite get there, and it's run out of play by Mitul Mama, the young goalkeeper who's earning just his 3rd cap for Bangladesh. It was Connor Metcalf with that ball over the top. All but one of this Bangladesh side play their football in the Bangladesh Premier League. The only exception being the number 6, the captain, who just played that out of play. Jamal Buyan, who plays for Club Sol de Mayo in the Argentine 3rd division. The Danish-born and raised defensive midfielder has an amazing story, which we will no doubt get to at some point in the broadcast. Here it's back with Cam Burgess. Now for Geordie Boss. Just one loss in his last 7, Jordi Boss for Westerlo, after a terrible start to the season. Looking to fight their way back up the league table. Miller, quick throw for Duke. Back out. The right back turns inside. Bacchus is there. That pass is under hit from Burgess, picked off by Rakib. Up the line from Rahim. Rakib. Now, has that taken a touch off Cam Burgess, who apologises for the loose pass that turned the ball over at the start of that?
Yeah, it's a swift counter-attack. He's shown some quality already, has Rakib. And as he looked to fire that ball into the penalty area, Tag got his toe on the end of it to force the corner, concede the corner.
Fahim with Jamal. Bishwanath. His cross in. Well, we saw it in an attacking force just before, but there's Harry Souttar doing his bread and butter, the defensive duties in the air, as it's over the top for Rakib. And the flag is up for offside.
Yeah, movement's good from Rakib. He breached the line there, rightly called offside. His movements are good, just a little bit early did he go then. Clearly offside.
Now refereeing trio, referee and assistants from Uzbekistan. Akhrol Rusguleyev is the man in the middle in fluorescent orange this evening. Fourth official, Crystal John, is from India. Here's Craig Goodwin. Looks up, crosses back post. The punch from Mitul. He managed to get it cleared towards Rahim, but Bacchus is cleaning up at the base of midfield.
Yeah, slightly overhit there from Craig Goodwin. Still presented a test. For Mitchell, but Australia, through Mitch Duke, just couldn't quite get on the end of it. Nevertheless, the keeper did well in that pressurised situation. With Sampaoli and Jackson Irvine, teammates in the national team midfield as they are at club level in the Bundesliga 2 in Germany, and an unprecedented run for their club, leading the comp, and it's rarefied air for Sampaoli, really.
Undefeated this season.
Fantastic, having a fantastic run, and those two guys right in the heart of it all.
Yellow card for Rakib, who is clearly involved in absolutely everything in these first 13 minutes. Two goals so far for Connor Metcalf with St. Pauli this season, most recently against Nuremberg. Jackson Irvine has got just the 1 goal so far this season. They currently sit 3 points ahead of another famous German club currently in the 2nd division. They just happen to be crosstown rivals, Hamburg. So what a battle that will be when those two meet in the derby for top spot. Duke has done brilliantly, ball inside for Goodwin, squares it. Green and gold shirts queuing up. Socceroos think that should have been a back pass. Now Goodwin, he's seeing a lot of the ball early, looks up towards Metcalf. Miller with the overlapping run. Again, you can see the packed lines of white shirts. Mohamed Ridoy, the little slip. Well, that is one of the dangers when you're playing with the ball so deep, but the break is on again. Rahim, he's got Rakib at the back post. Rahim going it alone. Blocked by Burgess. And Miller is fouled.
Well, there's Fahim after really taunting, as it was the back two left by Australia, Sutar and Burgess. And with Fahim and Rakib, two very fast, good dribblers, attacking players at those retreating defenders, there is a possibility there for Bangladesh.
Flag up for offside against Brandon Borello. Applauded down in front of us by Javier Cabrera, the coach of, well, it's close, very close, but just a shoulder offside for Borello. Long by Murad, only finds Lewis Miller. Run from Burgess towards Duke.
You couldn't really say the Socceroos have settled, despite the fact that they'd scored that early goal from Harry Sutar. It was a very good one. Cabrera in the Bangladesh dugout will be very heartened by what his team's done, but you know, Australia have had a lot of ball, but the passing's been a bit, I don't know, unconvincing. What's the word, Robbie? Direct, overhit. They're not really playing with great fluency at the moment.
Perhaps a little too eager to impress in these early minutes back home as well.
Yeah, that could be a big thing too. That's a good pick-up. They've had good field position, players doing very well week to week. Clubland, the Socceroos themselves have been playing fantastic football. Just quite hasn't clicked into gear in the opening 15 here.
That's a ball over the top again. The flag up for offside against Borello. Well, the last competitive match played in Australia was back in Sydney nearly 2 years ago now against Japan, the 2-0 defeat that sent Australia more or less into the playoffs to qualify. Mind you, World Cup playoffs are perhaps a thing of the past for the Socceroos now, with the World Cup expanding. But even that very first qualification back in 1973, November 73, was a playoff match as well against South Korea. Jimmy Mackay getting the only goal after 2 previous matches. They couldn't be separated. A 1-0 victory in that final playoff match, sending the part-time Socceroos, as they were back then under Rally Rasic, to a first ever World Cup. Defeats to the 2 Germanys, East and West, as it was back then. Times have certainly changed. And a draw with Chile. Only to have to wait another 32 years before the Socceroos returned in 2006, and despite some close calls, they haven't missed one since. Little dink over the top. That's a great run from Metcalf. Squares the ball, and Brandon Borello. Well, it was lightning quick, precision football, and Brandon Borello has his second goal in green and gold.
Oh, that's more like it. It's a beautiful little ball over the top from Lewis Miller. And this is Connor Metcalf, all power and long stride, winning the ball in behind the back 4 of Bangladesh. It's the give and go. It's a beautiful stretch and great power from Connor Metcalf, and then a beautifully squared pass to Brandon Borello, who just has to be there. Needs to time his run. Could have gone offside, but didn't. And then it's a tap in for 2-0. That's good football from Australia.
He's been waiting for that second goal. Brandon Borello yet to find the back of the net with Western Sydney this season. One of the Socceroos that ply their trade in the local A-League here. Western Sydney have made a very good start to the season. Borrello too, without troubling the scorers himself so far. Here's Irvine. Metcalf, who provided that assist for the Socceroos, but just his second start on home soil. The first came in that match against Japan back in 2022, when Graham Arnold was under all sorts of pressure for his job with what was perceived to be a vastly underperforming Socceroos side then. What a turnaround that was with qualification during that incredible penalty shootout against Peru. Andrew Redmayne's antics between the posts, the stuff of legend. Fahim. It falls back to Sohail Rana. That's a good ball down the line. Bangladesh getting forward, the cross. The captain, Jamel, was lurking at the back post, but no pressure on Matt Ryan, who releases Craig Goodwin quickly. Perhaps now we'll see the Socceroos just put their foot on the ball a little bit more. Hit their passes, and the key, of course, will be to attack with speed and precision like they did for that second goal. Burgess, good switch, but Miller has been caught there by Saad Uddin. Saduddin, one of the majority of these players who play for Bashundhara Kings in the Bangladesh Premier League. They've been champions the last 3 seasons in a row. They supply the majority of the national team players. Jackson Irvine. Free kick, short with Bacchus. The switch to Boss, now Goodwin, the cross in, oh look, the amount of green and gold at the back post, completely unmarked. The ball made a bit courtesy of a little push just before then.
Yeah, Burgess pinged by the referee for illegally interfering with the Bangladesh defence. Very good one, dropping the ball over. Look at the slew of Socceroos players. Harry Sutar's touch to control the ball left a little bit to be desired.
Fahim with a clever little touch, but here's Jamal. Heavy touch. Falls Rakib. Fahim. Somehow they've still got the ball. Bangladesh. Jamal releasing Fahim down the right-hand side. Burgess keeps it in play. Clever little chest down from Duke. Goodwin with Metcalf. Miller overlapping. Duke wants it early through the middle. It doesn't come. Now Connor Metcalf. Cross in, Duke. Can't control, and Bishwanath. And Mitul Marma, the young goalkeeper. And Socceroos again asking if that wasn't a back pass, even if it took a long time to actually end up in the goalkeeper's gloves. Poor pass from Bishwanath. And Burgess again. Made his debut for Australia against Mexico back in June. I think it was September, that one. the quality friendly matches since the World Cup that the Socceroos have been playing. The likes of Argentina, Ecuador and Mexico, world number 12. First time ball for Borrello, early cross. Mitul just palming the ball away from his goal. Here's Burgess again, arrived in Australia, in Perth at the age of 11. Goodwin, the cross, great ball, brilliant stop. It should be 3-0, and Brandon Borrello should have his second of the night.
And Craig Goodwin should be able to point to his second assist of the night. Beautiful curl on that ball. It was just perfect delivery. And Brandon Borrello running in at full steam. Heads it straight at the keeper. Half a yard. Or in the metric system, Robbie, half a metre either side.
Which is just a little bit more than half a yard.
And he gets his second. It's a nice play from Australia. I tell you, and this is by no way to discredit Bangladesh, but they're having the Dickens of the time, maintaining Connor Metcalfe and Lewis Miller from the right midfield, which is basically where Connor Metcalfe is operating out to the right flank. That combination has just got so... They're two V8s just coming at you the whole time.
Flags up for offside against Mitchell Duke. There are the possession statistics. 27 minutes in. Over 3/4 of the ball has been monopolised by Graham Arnold's men. Mitchell Duke, who got that goal against Tunisia, of course, that arguably, well, every goal at a World Cup is important, but after that coming undone against France, it was such an important match. He got the goal. Matt Leckie got the goal against Denmark, and Australia were through. Under a little bit of pressure there. Matt Ryan dealing with it. Big switch of play. Goodwin was always going to try and just out-muscle Bishwanath, but the referee was keeping an eye on it.
Yeah, it's a good call from the ref. It's a foul. Craig Goodwin, who's more annoyed with the ball coming at such a height than he was with the referee's decision. In the sense is if we can keep the ball on the ground, I think we can get a lot more out of this game. Doing well after... It's too strong, Robbie, to say it was an unconvincing opening quarter hour, but I think it is fair to say that the team didn't look that settled. It was... I think you summed it up nicely. Probably a lot of nervous energy going into this first game at home in so long. You know, less than a quarter of Graham Arnold's matches as a Socceroos coach have been at home.
9 of 44.
Yeah, very torturous qualifying campaign on the road last time because of COVID. And having got that out of their system now, perhaps they're looking, to me at least, a lot more settled. They should have scored that third goal. They'll keep going like this. There will be more goals to enjoy from the green and gold. But I will say, for Bangladesh already, compared to 2015, the last time we saw them in the flesh in a World Cup qualifier, they're offering a lot more. They're having a go. They're trying to play it from the back. There's certainly got a little bit of danger in Fahid and Rakib up front. So they've made their progress as well, which is very pleasing to see.
Well, 14 of this Bangladeshi side were in the under-23 Asian Games last month, where they lost a couple of matches by 1-0, including an own goal, single goal defeat to Myanmar. But they also drew 0-0 with China in that tournament at under-23 level. So Coach Cabrera keeping his faith with many of that squad who are here. But he's under no illusions that there's still a massive gulf in class between them and the Socceroos. Managed to get it clear, but only as far as Bacchus. Here's Boss with Goodwin again. Little 1-2 with Geordie Boss. But they're fighting for everything. It was Ridoy, who came flying out in the challenge. Metcalf. Again, being pressured in midfield. The Socceroos not being allowed to just walk the ball all the way to the Bangladeshi penalty box. They've actually caught the Socceroos offside 3 times as well. As Boss accelerates, does that nicely, looks up and crosses. Cleared again by the number 17. Sohail Murad. Ooh. Strong from Jordy Boss. The Bangladeshi bench didn't like it, as Mujibur Johnny was sent tumbling. Miller's cross. And more desperate defending.
Well, don't mess with me.
Shoulder on shoulder.
Yeah, completely legal. And this has been a feature. Lewis Miller getting forward. Hasn't quite got one of those crosses nailed yet, but looking very, very likely.
Very Goodwin applauding the support down in that corner. 32 minutes gone. Corner for the Socceroos, and we know how dangerous the threat they certainly pose from these set pieces. We've already seen Harry Sutar head one home. We know the quality of Craig Goodwin's delivery as well. And it comes, the header just over. Cam Burgess, I think it was, who had a great chance there.
Yeah, it's a wicked curl again from Craig Goodwin, and it's
Bacchus.
Gone really, really closely there from Bacchus. What a... Talk about players with an enormous future. Robbie on Bacchus. One of the key things I took out of that fantastic Socceroos performance against England was just how well Bacchus did against those top-tier, basically English Premier League players. And before and since against Argentina, magnificent. And his career is really on the precipice. You know, I think it mightn't be long before he gets picked up by one of the big leagues, because he is flying at the moment, Bacchus.
He currently plays his football for St Mirren in Scotland, where they're having a very good season, in 3rd place at the moment, behind the perennial 2, Rangers and Celtic leading the way. Boss has done that nicely. Duke back out with Goodwin. Can't hit Jordy Boss though. And Borello just bundling over Sohail Rana. Saad's ball up the flank. Back with Murad. Sohail Rana. Now with Tariq, the number 14 for Bangladesh, along with Jamal, the only other player born and raised outside of Bangladesh, of Bangladeshi descendant. Dad Bangladeshi, mum Finnish. Actually played for Finland at under 17 and under 19 level. Did the central defender Tariq Kazi. Sutar with Miller. Borello. As Metcalf made a run into the box that time. It's well defended again by Murad. We knew the Socceroos would pose an aerial threat. They've had one headed goal. They could have had two more, as Borrello can't bring the ball down. Rakib, who was very lively in the first couple of minutes, is now just trying to control his efforts a little more.
Well, I also think as time passes in this game, those energetic efforts from Bangladesh are going to become fewer and fewer, just because they'll find it very, very difficult to keep up physically with the Socceroos, who will increasingly dominate this match, one would expect. But interesting the way the Aussies have lined up. In one sense, probably a little bit of a lopsided formation. Craig Goodwin basically is staying very wide as a left winger, which is to some extent negating Jordy Boss getting forward. Whereas on the other side of the field, Brandon Borrello's coming in to play twin centre forwards with now Mitch Duke, and that's leaving the right completely free for Lewis Miller, who's taking full advantage.
Here they come again, and it is Goodwin who crosses again. Duke, a little glancing head up. Miller is there with Metcalf. He dinks the ball back in. Great header, Mitch Duke. What a story. Mitch Duke, from the young man working 3 jobs in Sydney and travelling up on $700 a month to play for the Central Coast Mariners, to being the main man at the helm of the Socceroos attack. 11 goals now in green and gold. And again, that threat in the air.
Yeah, well, it was just a little dink, a tasty, tempting dink from Connor Metcalf, and used his body brilliantly to earn the space, Mitch Duke, and the header was quite brilliant, really. He's very good in the air, Mitch Duke. He's good on the ground as well, but he does some great things with the ball coming in these sorts of contests. It's a wonderful header to make it 3-0. No chance of Harry Souttar getting that goal off him.
With reference to the opening goal against New Zealand in the Anzac Soccer Ashes, which the Socceroos won in England last month. That famous trophy that had been missing for so many years, found and immediately competed for between the Socceroos and the All Whites, and it was Mitch Duke who volleyed the ball into the net, and it just deflected off the front of Harry Souttar, who didn't know too much about it but claimed the goal for himself. But perhaps we should say that's goal number 12, not goal number 11 for Mitch Duke. He's looking forward to being back in the Japanese top flight next season. Now Boss, good ball, back post, cleared. Borrello, first time off the post, played back in, and Mitch Duke at the double. 2 goals in 2.5 minutes. And all of a sudden, the scoreline is starting to look very comfortable indeed for the Socceroos.
It was a good hit from Brandon Borrello on the edge of the box. Jordy Boss doing beautifully. No hint of offside. The headed clearance was ineffective, and it fell to Brandon Borrello, who makes really good contact instinctively. Good volley that. And just right place, right time. No particular design in that, but a nicely controlled touch, it should be said, from Mitch Duke to earn his 2nd for the night and Australia's 4th.
And this will be exactly what Graham Arnold wanted. Heading into the break, the opportunity to make certain changes now. We have two debutants in the squad, as Duke was looking for the little flick. It's cleared only as far as Metcalf. Now Irvine deflected. And that's a very good stop from Metul.
Well, wasn't it an excellent save from the young keeper? It had a bit on it from Jackson Irvine. In its own right, a tough one to save, but the deflection from short range really tested him. Outstanding from the goalkeeper. Australia looking to push on.
Goodwin delivers again. That time it was Cam Burgess with the ball bouncing around. Well, he'll be looking forward to getting that first Socceroos goal. He said there's lots of family here who have travelled over from Perth. Metcalf. Wide for Miller. Gets down to the byline. Well defended by Saad, who turns it out for a corner. Plenty of kids in attendance this evening. All out in green and gold. You can see their love for the game. Don't forget that there's the Mini Roos programme from Football Australia, just to get the kids out on the pitch and playing. Search Mini Roos on the internet to find a programme near you. Just saw the sign from Craig Goodwin there. It was relayed by Burgess in the middle. So this is the set move. Let's see how this looks. It's a good ball. It was towards the players falling in the box. Bacchus claims that he was manhandled. Bangladesh managed to get the ball clear. Miller fouled again by Fahim, who tried to apologise. Lewis Miller not too interested.
Well, he got him before as well. Fahim was courting danger. He gets the look. Second time tonight from Miller, who then pulls his head in and walks away. I don't know if I'd be biting off that if it was Fahim.
Borello. Flag up for offside. It was Miller coming back from an offside position. Graham Arnold, who was mentioned in the lead-up to this clash, because the Asian Cup is coming up in January, February next year, which the Socceroos will be looking to win for just the second time in their history, after 2015 on home soil. It was Goodwin and Duke with the pincer movement, closing down from both sides. Can't win it back though. Bishwanath. Ball looking for Rakib. In fact, it was Fahim making that run all the way across, but he's without a couple of promising young players in Riley McGree and Nathaniel Atkinson, who are both missing with injury at the moment. Matt Leckie, who actually played the last time these sides met back in 2015, was on the score sheet as well. Matt Leckie. Masluongo was there as well. Jackson Irvine. So a few of the Socceroos will remember playing against Bangladesh. Boss's ball in to the back post. Here's Connor Metcalf. Saved again by Mitul.
Beautiful ball from Geordie Boss. He made good ground there. It's a nice clean strike from Connor Metcalf. And Mitchell is doing his own reputation. No damage at all here tonight. Young goalkeeper, 19 years of age. And not culpable for any of the four that have gone in, and is cleanly responsible for making sure 2 or 3 others haven't.
And Matt Ryan, who's been a spectator for much of the first half, coming right out 35, 40 yards out from his own goal to see a little bit of the action. That's a nice turn. Metcalf straightens up. Metcalf still going. Fires the ball just over the crossbar.
Well, his starting position in midfield is a very aggressive one, and Bacchus found him with a beautiful angled ball. And as he receives the ball facing forward, he's already done half his job, Connor Metcalf. And then he takes 5, 6, 7, 8 powerful strides towards goal and hammers the ball. It's very, very difficult to deal with Connor Metcalf. Set up nicely by the very positive pass out of midfield from Bacchus.
Bishwanath back with Tariq, closed down, goal kick. There is Tariq Kazi. That's the Finnish born and raised Bangladeshi defender who was just trying to give a few more instructions and directions to his less experienced. Whistle has blown before the goal kick. A great start for the Socceroos, ahead after just 4 minutes. Harry Sutar on the score sheet. Brandon Borello added goal number 2, could have had a couple more before. Mitchell Duke did get a quick fire brace 5 minutes before half-time. And the Socceroos, who begin their journey to the 2026 World Cup in their opening qualifying match, lead Bangladesh at half-time at Amy